In the last few examples, we've looked at two different abstractions or classes in Java. First, we looked at hotel television, then we looked at baseball inning. There's actually one more left that we're going to look at right now, which is the abstraction car or the class car. Let's go ahead and make a car on the instance shelf. I'm going to make a new car. It looks like to make a new car, I have to give it the miles per gallon and the tank size. So I'm just going to call this my car. Let's say it gets 30 miles per gallon and the tank size is 12. There's my car. It's so beautiful. Let's see what we can do with a car. Look, I can drive my car and I can say how many miles I want to drive it. I can fill up my car with a number of gallons. I can get what the gas gauge is at. That returns an int. That's because the gas gauge is kind of like a little meter, kind of like a pointer arrow sort of thing. And I can get the odometer, which is how far I've actually gone in miles. So let's start by seeing how much gas we have in the tank. And it looks like we start at 0. That's problematic. Why did it give me a pop-up there? Because get gas gauge is not a void method. It's supposed to give me back an int. When I do fill up, it's going to ask me how much I want to fill up. Let's go full tank, which is 12 gallons. And notice that it didn't have a pop-up with a yellow value being given to me. That's because that method is void. Now let's drive. Let's drive 25 miles. And let's drive a little more. Let's drive 100 miles. We're going pretty far. Let's get my odometer. Look, I've gone 125 miles. Notice it does say 125.0. And that's because what type does the get odometer method give back to me? It gives back a double. And remember, a double is that special word for a number with a decimal. So it's different than an int. Let's get my gas gauge. How much gas do I have left? It looks like 65. And we'll think of that as kind of 65% full. Let's drive a lot. Let's drive. We're going on a road trip, 450 miles. Oh my gosh. We ran out of gas after going too far. Now, why does the car class do this? Because the person who coded the car class decided that this is what was going to happen if you actually drove too far and ran out of gas. As the person using the car class, I don't have to worry about how it works. That's the idea of abstraction. As the person who wrote the car class, I did have to worry about making all those decisions, but that's not your job. We're practicing how to use a class that we've never seen before. So let's do one more thing. Let's go new class. Let's call this car program, and we're going to make this a console program. I'm going to hit OK. Let's put it over here with all the others. And now what you're going to do is you are actually going to write a console program that uses the car class in some fun way. It's completely up to you what you would like to do here. If you want to go for a road trip, or maybe your car is racing the Indy 500, or maybe you're just driving around town. You should write a console program that's around 10 to 12 lines of code. You can do longer than that if you really want to, but there's only so many things you can do. And you should, at some point, use every single method. Throughout your program, you should look at every single thing. Can you make variables? For sure. Should you be printing things out? For sure. Definitely. If you don't print anything out, nothing will really happen. Should void methods be on lines by themselves? Yes. Should non-void methods either be put into a variable or printed out in some interesting way? Yes. Can you have print lines that don't use any of the methods of the car class? Sure, if you'd like to. If you're trying to make a little narrative, that's completely fine. So your job, like I said, is to make a console program around 10 to 12 lines of code that at some point uses every single method in some kind of fun and interesting way. And remember, if you forget what the methods of the car class are, we can always open it up, switch this over to documentation mode, and you can take a look at those methods. Here's drive, which is a void method. You have to give it a number of miles you want to drive. Here's fill up, which is a void method, which you also have to give a number, which is the number of gallons. There's the gas gauge, which gives you back an int, tells you how much gas you have left percentage-wise, and the get odometer method, which gives you back a double, how many miles you've driven. Remember that when you create a new car, you have to give it two numbers. The first is the miles per gallon of the car, and the second is the tank size. That's it for this video. Go ahead and make your car program.